of all, in bringing up Junior Pope's case was a very fatal incident. And when you have not had an experience on something, of course, you are bound to react differently. For instance, if you are a family man and you have never lost a parent or a relative, when you do, you are bound to react in different way. So during Junior Pope's death, because of the way the events happened, it was not possible for myself and the armed president to have had time to discuss next action to take. First of all, when I was called in Abuja that I just lost a member in the river through boat mishap, I took the next available flight and I landed in Asaba because I wanted to be on ground. There was no time to begin to interface with other guild heads at that point in time. Of course, that rift, came up, and of course, for me, it was necessary because it is better to disagree to agree than to agree to disagree. But now we had an issue that the presidents, we were not there when it took place, and our best bet was to send it to the committees that will look at it. And when you come and look at the people who occupy those committees, they are trusted people in Nollywood that have integrity. There was no way they would have come all out to victimize somebody. One thing, the whole world seemed to be shouting out of emotions because of the fact that the young man refused to see reasons with answering a panel. So if you go to court now and somebody takes you to court and you refuse to appear in court with your counsel, the moment the court wants to take judgment, they will pass judgment based on the story, the narrative the person who came to court did. So he didn't show up, and the witnesses were high against him. And those witnesses were independent people who didn't know him or knew the other lady. Of course, you wouldn't expect us to begin to hide something that is already out there. We were not going to issue any statement, but the corrections of the names, that has been taken care of. And we move to the next level. For us as guilds, we have decided to go into the ethics, because what has been troubling the industry over time is these issues of ethics, terms and references, contracts. You see, producers tend to deal with actors anyhow. Actors tend to deal with producers anyhow. But now that we're coming together because of Ty and Peggy's case, I think it will be for good. And the industry will be much better. So that when you're filming, you know the contract you have signed. So that if you want to beg somebody to extend his or her contract, you go by the terms of the contract. The bone of contention here was not that the name was misspelled. The person who is reacting on a misspelled name, I don't know how he knew he was the one. If you have seen a name that is misspelled, you simply pretend that, oh, it's not me these people are dealing with. Do you understand the point? But he kept on reacting like, oh, it's not my name, is that my name, and all of that. So we decided to keep quiet. We have it all documented as we have, and then when the appropriate authorities want it, we'll issue. But presently, we're not interested in speaking to the press because of the fact that the one we had released so far is creating so much fury, and we believe that we just have to involve agencies that will look into this matter properly. If the young man decides to appeal the matter, we'll give him space to look at it once again. But what we're trying to draw is that we want to get at the truth. The truth is very important here. The issue of name misspell for us is very, very infinitesimal to the contention, to the issue in contention. I think somebody's misunderstanding something there. We have not said the suspension is just a technical word. What we mean in our release is that no member of Actors Guild of Nigeria, nor AMP, nor DGN will work with taye till further notice. It's our industry. You must not be a Nigerian to be disciplined by the courts of Nigeria. If you're a Ghanaian, are you a Gambian, or an American, and you commit offense in Nigeria, the courts in Nigeria will have to discipline you. Our own discipline here is saying that we will not be working with so and so person. It doesn't matter whether it belongs to any of the guilds. What we mean is that if you go to location and you see this young man, you pull out of that project. Because why? There is somebody who your guild says he shouldn't be working with you. That's our position. And then for the incoming executives, the AGN, all of these our associations, honestly speaking, we are just picking up. We are trying to go into collective bargainings. You must know that very recently, I just came back from the Federation of International Actors Congress in Birmingham, UK. And there you meet with other global actors, guilds, and associations of the arts. The topics at that level globally has gone beyond what we are doing here. And it's only when we're able to come together and form very strong unions to ensure that, one, the most important thing is to ensure that the right of your member is protected. Because if you're not protecting the rights of your member, you can't tell members to come and join. Do you understand? So when you are able to give the members good welfare packages, protect their rights, then you can tell them to come and join. But when we metamorphose to a union, which is in progress, we will take the full arm of the law to ensure that every actor belongs to the Actors Guild of Nigeria, just like the way it's done in America, Canada, and all of the labor unions all over the world. That Nollywood is having today, we are caused by the older ones. You see, when you don't leave something for people, when the new ones are born, they will not see something that is a legacy. Let me tell you, the AGN had leadership crisis for almost 8 years. Within that period of the leadership crisis, that was when all these new generation actors were born. When I mean were born, came to limelight. So for them to join the Actors Guild, somebody needs to reach out to them, let them know the importance. Today, Taye may not be a member of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, but a lot of his friends are. It left for their friends to let him know. For us, we do a lot of discussions, engagements with actors, because the actors in Nigeria find it difficult to do reasonable things. It's not about being on location day in, day out. You need to understand that you need to belong to these associations in case you have problems while you're working. So it's a gradual process. Why they are not belonging is because the people who are supposed to have taught them that they needed these associations didn't do well. It is just in this administration that people knew that, okay, AGN does this or does that, or makes movement or comes back, and people are beginning to ask questions. Sometimes we reach out to actors on production sets, speak to them, and then because the Nollywood industry has grown beyond bounds, the national body will be doing very well, and then a state body will not be copying the national body. At the end of the day, nobody's even seeing value why he or she wants to join the association. It is only when problems like this come up that somebody begins to see value. I want to tell you that no matter how this matter goes up and comes down, tomorrow you will hear that Taye is a member of the Actors Guild. Why is he joining? Because he has seen that it is important to belong to an association of creatives, to join AGN, because the first thing as an actor is to know what right you have as an actor within the space of creative. Very, very important. If you're an actor in Nigeria and you're not a member, you may be working in ignorance. And it is this ignorance that had led a lot of people astray. Sometimes an actor, even a notable actor, who ought to have known what his or her rights is. Let me give you an instance. Wants to travel abroad, wants to go to America or to London. He prefers to go and pay a roadside agent to begin to process visa for him. Whereas for being members of Federation of International Actors, we have over 83 unions all over the world that we are affiliate members with. It's a simple thing. The Actors Union of France can do you a letter. You don't have to go and pay agents. The Screen Actors Guild of America can okay your coming to US. These are because people are ignorant of what they are supposed to be gaining from joining a creative association.
Okay, guys, this was Emeka Rollas, the President Actors Guild of Nigeria, in a recent interview, just a few days ago. Talking about Taye's ban and the reason for his ban, and he also mentioned that Taye remains banned whether he is a member of the Actors Guild of Nigeria or not, and that was because he failed to come when they called him for this matter. When it initially happened, he didn't show up, he didn't come, he didn't honor their invitation and all of that. And he also mentioned and said a lot of things. I believe that you must have heard everything he said in this video thus far. So guys, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please don't forget to do so right now and turn on your post notification buttons so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Share with your friends and your family. And thank you so much for all of your love and support. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. God bless you.